Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to show how you can create a sort of video camera effect, because I've noticed a lot out there use like static date and time and things when in reality it wouldn't look like that, and it just brings a bit more to it. So we're going to do that. I'm in my tutorial project from my horror series, but we should be fine using this. First thing I'm going to do is just to separate it. I'm going to create a new folder and I'm going to call this the camera widgets. Now in here, what I've done is I've created two images that I will share. And these are just to create the effect of that the camera is recording. So we're going to animate this one so it will flash a little. Once you've got these imported, highlight them both and go to sprite actions and just apply paper 2D settings, just so it makes them look a little bit better. Okay, so in the user interface, we're going to create a widget. I'm going to call this WVP underscore camera UI. And in here, we're going to start by using a canvas panel. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring in those images and set that system up. So what we can do is I'm going to use a horizontal box, and we're going to place that in. I'm going to anchor it to the top right by holding Control and Shift, and then I'm just going to reposition these a little bit better. So let's do -40, and then let's do 40, so it's about there. Next, we need two images. Image. So let's put two images in here. And the first image we're going to call rec icon and rec text, like this. Rec icon, we're going to click on it, and then the image will be the one we just found. So we can type rec record icon, and the one next to it will be recording. So you can see how big these are. They're way too big for this. The horizontal box, we can click and click size to content. So now we have something that looks like this. These are still a bit too big. Maybe. Yeah. So let's make them smaller. The image size on Y, let's lower it down to say 40, and the X we can do about I think it's based on this. There we go. Let's do 40 on that. The X can be 30, 35. So it looks okay. It may be a bit big. Let's keep doing that. Let's lower the size more. Oops. So let's do, let's say 25 by 25. That looks okay. And then I want to do like 45, and then the Y doesn't change. So that's fine. So compile. The first thing is this dot here. We want this to animate. So we can click on it and come to animations. And new animation, we can call this recording blink. And we can add the rec icon to here. So we can click the plus and we can do render opacity. So by default, it's 1. So say every 0.5, we want that to blink out. So if we look at this, it goes like that. And then another, it will come back. So let's see, like this, like that. That looks okay. Now to get this to play, what we can do is on event construct here, we can play animation forward. And the in animation will be the recording blink, the playback speed. If you highlight, no, we don't want play animation forward. We just want play animation. Sorry. The animation will be in. Number of times to loop. If you highlight, it says 0 to loop indefinitely. So if we put 0 like this, it will indefinitely loop over. So we can try that out. We can add it to the player. So I will add it to my first person character. On begin play here. So I already have a HUD widget. Let's just check. There's nothing actually in that. Oh, it is for the cursor. Okay. So let's just unclip that and create widget, and the class will be the camera UI. And we can add to viewport like this. So now if we press play, you can see in the top left, the icon is blinking like we're recording. So the next part is to have some text underneath that shows the time. So like cameras, if you're doing like an older game, cameras in the like the 90s and early 2000s, when they would record, sometimes it would have the like the date, the time, and it would increase. And I've noticed a lot of people don't do this, which is a shame because it's quite easy to set up. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to have a vertical box. I'm going to add that, and then we're going to basically put that. Let's just, for now, we will do minus 40 and 60. And maybe a bit lower, like here. This is just for testing. You can place this wherever you want, like obviously. Next will be a text. So we're going to add a couple of text, and we're going to make sure we size the content. And I'm going to change the font. I'm going to click on both and change to Roboto Tiny, just so it's a bit smaller. And I'm going to make the text 18 maybe. That looks okay. So what we do is, the top one we will name here. We will call txt underscore time. The bottom one we can do txt underscore date. Like this. So let's see. We can click bind here for the time. So Unreal has a node called now, and that will get the local time and date of your current computer. Or you can do UTC time, which I think brings in the daylight savings maybe. Like the time zone you are in. It's the 24-hour clock, sorry. So let's do UTC now. Oh, thank you, NVIDIA. What we can do with this is we can split it. Now we can get to see all the different settings. What we can do is on this return node, we can pull down to format text. And we can start setting up the clock. So because I'm in Europe, I'm going to do, well, the time doesn't matter, but once we get to the date, it will. So let me just change my keyboard. So we want the hour, so that's H. We're going to do dot, and then we want the minutes, and then dot, and then we want the seconds. So the way format text works is if you do curly brackets and put something in, it will then create a node, and it will replace whatever's in these curly brackets. Well, the whole curly bracket will get replaced by this. So the hour, we can plug into the hour, the minute, and the seconds, the second. So if we try that now, let's see. So now you can see my current time in UTC. So it's not the actual time because for me it's 12 and this is the GMT time. So the universal time basically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that for me. I'm going to do now the normal one. Same thing, split it. Hours to hours, minutes to minutes, seconds to second. There we go. Just so it matches my current time. So if we look, 12:26 and in bottom right, 12:26. The next thing is the date, which is just the same. Create a binding. We can do now. We can split and then we can format text. So this is what I mean. If you are in Europe, we do it differently. So for us, it's day, and then so day, and then dash, and then month, and then dash, and then Y for year. So if you're obviously in America, you would do it month, day, year. In countries like Japan, they do year, month, day. So the day goes into day, month goes into month, year goes into year. If we look now, so today is the 8th of November, 2024. So if we don't want this, where it says 2024, we can take this year and we can. So what we can do here is we can do toText integer like this. And we can say the maximum integral digits to 2. So if I put that back in, let's see what we get now. So now we just get 24. So it's the 8th of November, 24. So that's just a very simple setup of a camera UI that is a bit more realistic than just having a date that never moves or a time that never moves. And then we've got a symbol for recording. I hope this has been useful. If you'd like to see more, please leave a comment, please subscribe. If you want to support me, I have a Buy Me a Coffee and a Patreon, and I'll see you in the next video.